In looking at a reading program truly built on the Common Core state standards, what would you expect to see?
I'd expect to see pretty complex text. I think it might surprise people how complex those texts should be. They should stretch readers because they're going to read them multiple times. As a result, I'd expect to see a much smaller book today than we would have seen in the past. In the past, we put a whole pile of text in there. They read them one time, they went to the next, the next, the next, the next. Today, we'd look at much more repeated reading, much more depth of reading, much more close reading of a set of worthy, complex text. So I think they'd be smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would be really complex pieces, really worthy of investigation and time. I'd expect the questions about the readings to be very dependent on the reading itself, where readers have to go back to that text over and over to really investigate or interrogate the text to find out what's the answer, what's really the answer here. And not just literal questions. I'm looking at text-dependent questions that require kids to really stretch their thinking and the inferencing and the intertextual connections that they are thinking about as they read. I'd expect the writing to really look at evidence, not just write about your own experiences, but to truly say, we're going to write something that has persuasion or argumentation or opinions that are really informed based on what the text had to say. I think that'd be a very big difference from what we've seen in the past, which was read a lot of stuff, read it somewhat superficially, because we're going to get to the next reading. I would expect to see way less background knowledge building. Some pieces deserve some background knowledge, some pre-teaching, if you will, but most of the texts, because we're going to read them multiple times, are really going to be encountered as a unique piece of text, because we're going to go back and reread and kind of investigate that. So I'd expect a lot less of that teacher front matter before reading. I'd expect more post-reading activities that really push the reader to go back and read. Not those take you away from the reading kinds of activities, those fun kind of playing with the book readings,
right,
but really readings that push you to go back to the text. How am I going to write about this? How am I going to think about this? What's a product I could produce? What's something I could create that says, I really read this piece of text?
Interesting. Well, thanks.
Thank you.